Welcome back my YouTube channel. Today, we are going deep into the world of one of the most impressive vessels ever built for modern global shipping, the COSCO Shipping Universe. This enormous container ship represents the incredible scale, power, and technology of today's maritime industry. When you see this ship from the shore, it is difficult to understand just how massive it really is. The COSCO Shipping Universe is designed to transport huge quantities of cargo across some of the busiest ocean routes in the world, connecting major ports and helping move products between continents. It is not simply a ship carrying containers. It is a highly engineered floating transportation system, built around efficiency, stability, cargo capacity, and long-distance ocean operations. The exterior design immediately shows the purpose of the vessel. The COSCO Shipping Universe has an extremely long hull with a broad beam that provides the stability needed for carrying thousands of containers. Its hull is designed to move efficiently through the water while supporting an enormous amount of weight. The bow has a streamlined shape that helps the ship cut through ocean waves, reducing resistance and improving fuel efficiency during long voyages. Rising above the hull is the towering container deck, where rows of containers can be stacked several levels high. When the ship is fully loaded, these containers create an enormous wall of cargo that stretches almost the entire length of the vessel. The COSCO branding is clearly visible on the ship, giving the vessel a distinctive appearance. The massive superstructure is positioned toward the rear of the vessel, while the bridge rises high above the deck. From this position, the officers have a wide view of the surrounding ocean and the containers ahead of them. The bridge is one of the most important areas of the entire ship because it is where navigation, communication, route planning, and many operational decisions are controlled. The combination of the long black hull, white superstructure, towering container stacks, and huge dimensions gives the COSCO Shipping Universe an unmistakable presence at sea. The size of this vessel is one of the most fascinating aspects. The COSCO Shipping Universe belongs to the ultra-large container ship category, meaning that it was designed to carry an enormous number of standard shipping containers on a single voyage. Its capacity is measured in TEUs, or 20-foot equivalent units. A single TEU represents the capacity of a standard 20-foot shipping container. By carrying many thousands of TEUs, a ship of this class can move an extraordinary amount of cargo in one journey. Instead of hundreds or thousands of individual trucks traveling across continents, one giant container ship can transport the equivalent of a huge amount of merchandise across an ocean. The cargo carried by a ship like the COSCO Shipping Universe can include almost anything legally transported in standard containers. Electronics, clothing, furniture, machinery, automobile components, consumer products, industrial materials, packaged food products, and countless other goods can travel inside these containers. Each container has a specific position, and the cargo must be carefully organized before the ship leaves port. Weight distribution is extremely important. Heavy containers cannot simply be placed anywhere. The loading plan is carefully calculated to maintain stability and keep the vessel balanced throughout the voyage. The deck itself is an incredible sight when viewed from above. Hundreds or thousands of containers can be arranged in long rows, with some positioned below deck and many more stacked above it. Special equipment called twist locks secures the containers together and to the ship's deck. Additional lashing equipment may be used to provide further security, particularly for containers stacked high above the waterline. This system is essential because the vessel may encounter powerful waves, strong winds, and rough weather during an ocean crossing. Keeping every container securely in position is one of the most important responsibilities of the crew. Inside the ship, the experience is completely different from what most people imagine when they see a container vessel from the outside. A modern container ship is essentially a small floating workplace and living environment for its crew. The interior accommodation is designed to provide the people on board with the facilities they need during long periods at sea. Cabins provide sleeping areas and personal storage, while common areas allow crew members to eat, relax, communicate, and recover after their working shifts. The crew accommodation may include dining facilities, lounges, recreational areas, offices, fitness equipment, and other essential spaces. Modern ships are designed with crew welfare in mind because seafarers can spend weeks or even months away from home. Comfortable accommodation and practical facilities help the crew maintain a good working environment during long voyages. The interior is not designed like a luxury cruise ship for passengers, but compared with the enormous machinery and cargo areas around it, the crew spaces can provide a surprisingly comfortable environment. One of the most impressive interior areas is the bridge. Unlike the traditional image of an old ship controlled mainly through a large steering wheel and basic instruments, the bridge of a modern container ship is filled with advanced electronic equipment. Digital navigation displays, radar systems, electronic charts, satellite communication equipment, GPS-based positioning systems, automatic identification systems, engine monitoring systems, and other instruments help officers understand exactly what is happening around the vessel. The officers constantly monitor the ship's position, speed, heading, weather conditions, nearby vessels, and traffic patterns. When approaching a busy port, the bridge becomes especially important. Large container ships cannot turn or stop like a car. Their enormous mass gives them tremendous momentum, so every maneuver must be planned carefully. Communication with port authorities, pilots, tugboats, and terminal operators becomes an important part of the operation. The engine room is another world entirely. Deep inside the vessel is a huge marine propulsion system designed to move the enormous ship across the ocean. A vessel of this size requires an extremely powerful low-speed marine diesel engine. The engine is directly connected to a massive propeller system, converting the energy produced by fuel combustion into mechanical power that pushes the ship through the water. The engine room is one of the most technically demanding areas on board. Large pipes, pumps, generators, compressors, cooling systems, fuel systems, electrical equipment, and monitoring systems operate together continuously. Engineers are responsible for keeping these systems running safely and efficiently. Temperature, pressure, lubrication, fuel consumption, and many other parameters are constantly monitored. The propulsion system is designed around efficiency as much as raw power. A giant container ship does not need to move at extremely high speed. Instead, it is designed to travel at an efficient cruising speed over enormous distances. Even a small improvement in fuel efficiency can save a significant amount of fuel during a long voyage. This is why modern marine engines are carefully optimized to produce the required power while consuming fuel as efficiently as possible. The propeller itself is another engineering achievement. It is enormous compared with the propellers found on ordinary boats. Its large diameter allows it to move a tremendous amount of water with every rotation. Because the engine operates at relatively low revolutions per minute, the propeller can produce strong thrust efficiently. The combination of a powerful engine, large propeller, streamlined hull, and careful route planning allows the vessel to cross oceans while carrying an enormous cargo load. When we talk about the driving experience of a ship like the COSCO Shipping Universe, it is important to remember that this is not driving in the same way as operating a car. There is no rapid acceleration or sudden braking. Instead, the ship responds slowly and deliberately because of its enormous mass. From the bridge, changing direction is a carefully planned process. Even a small change in the rudder can have a significant effect over time, but the ship needs distance to complete a turn. At sea, the experience can be surprisingly smooth. The massive size of the vessel gives it considerable stability, allowing it to maintain a steady movement through the water. When ocean waves become larger, the ship will still move, but its enormous mass helps prevent the sudden movements that smaller vessels may experience. The crew continuously monitors weather and sea conditions and can adjust the route or speed when necessary. Maneuvering inside a port is much more challenging. A container ship of this size requires careful coordination. Both thrusters and stern propulsion systems can help with low-speed maneuvering, while harbor tugboats may assist the vessel when entering or leaving port. A specialized marine pilot can also come aboard to help guide the ship through complicated waterways. Every movement must be calculated because there is very little room for error around docks, cranes, other vessels, and port infrastructure. The cargo operations are another impressive part of the ship's daily life. When the COSCO Shipping Universe arrives at a major container terminal, enormous shore-based cranes begin unloading and loading containers. These cranes can move containers rapidly between the ship and the terminal. The process is carefully organized using computerized cargo plans that determine where every container should be placed. A ship this large can spend many hours in port while thousands of containers are moved. The objective is to complete the operation efficiently so the ship can return to the ocean and continue its route. Every minute matters in commercial shipping because delays can affect schedules at multiple ports and across entire supply chains. Safety is also a major priority. The COSCO Shipping Universe is equipped with systems designed to protect the crew, cargo, machinery, and vessel. Fire detection and firefighting equipment are essential because a container ship carries thousands of individual cargo units. Emergency generators and communication systems provide additional protection if the main electrical systems experience a problem. Lifeboats, life rafts, emergency equipment, alarms, and safety procedures are maintained and regularly inspected. The crew also plays a critical role in safety. Advanced technology can assist with navigation and monitoring, but experienced officers and engineers remain essential. Crew members conduct drills and training exercises so they know how to respond to emergencies. Working on a vessel this large requires discipline, technical knowledge, communication, and constant attention. Another important aspect of the COSCO Shipping Universe is its contribution to global trade. Modern economies depend heavily on maritime transportation. Products manufactured in one part of the world can be shipped thousands of kilometers to another continent at a relatively efficient cost. Containerization transformed international trade by creating a standardized system that allows cargo to move easily between ships, trucks, trains, and warehouses. The COSCO Shipping Universe is part of this enormous global network. Its job is not simply to travel from one port to another. It is one link in a chain that connects factories, businesses, retailers, ports, transportation companies, and consumers around the world. A single voyage can involve cargo destined for many different countries and markets. What makes this vessel especially impressive is the combination of scale and precision. From a distance, it may look like a giant steel platform covered with containers. But underneath that appearance is a highly complex machine. Naval architecture, marine engineering, electrical systems, navigation technology, cargo planning, weather forecasting, communications, and human expertise all work together to keep the vessel moving. The COSCO Shipping Universe also demonstrates how the shipping industry has changed over the decades. Earlier container ships were much smaller, while today's largest vessels can carry many thousands of containers. As global trade expanded, shipping companies developed larger vessels to transport more cargo per voyage and improve efficiency. However, larger ships also require larger ports, deeper channels, stronger cranes, and more sophisticated operational systems. Environmental efficiency has also become increasingly important. A giant container ship consumes a huge amount of fuel, so improvements in hull design, engine efficiency, propeller performance, route optimization, and operational procedures can make a significant difference. The shipping industry continues to work toward reducing emissions and improving the efficiency of large commercial vessels. Looking at the COSCO Shipping Universe from the water gives you a completely different perspective. A person standing near the shoreline may see only the upper section of the vessel, while much of the enormous hull extends below the surface. The ship's height above the water, combined with the containers stacked high on deck, creates an impressive vertical wall of steel and cargo. When the ship is moving across open ocean, its enormous size becomes even more impressive. There may be no buildings, roads, or other structures nearby, only the vessel surrounded by thousands of kilometers of water. The engine continues working deep inside the ship while the navigation team monitors the route and the crew performs their daily responsibilities. At night, the ship becomes a floating collection of lights. Navigation lights mark its position, lights illuminate working areas, and the bridge remains active as officers monitor the surrounding sea. Far from land, the COSCO Shipping Universe can appear like a small city moving slowly across the darkness, carrying an enormous amount of cargo between continents. The final verdict on the COSCO Shipping Universe is simple. This is an extraordinary example of modern maritime engineering. Its massive exterior, enormous container capacity, powerful propulsion system, advanced bridge technology, crew accommodation, safety equipment, and efficient ocean-going performance all combine to create a vessel capable of performing one of the most important jobs in the global economy. It may not have the entertainment decks or passenger suites of a cruise ship, but its purpose is completely different. The COSCO Shipping Universe is built for strength, efficiency, endurance, and cargo transportation. It represents the incredible scale of today's shipping industry and demonstrates how engineering can transform a massive steel structure into a Highly efficient ocean-going transportation machine. From the containers stacked high above the deck to the giant engine operating deep inside the hull, every part of the COSCO Shipping Universe has a specific purpose. It is a vessel designed to spend long periods at sea, operate under demanding conditions, and transport enormous quantities of goods across international trade routes. The COSCO Shipping Universe is more than just a giant container ship. It is a moving piece of global infrastructure, a symbol of modern maritime engineering, and a powerful reminder that some of the world's most important transportation systems operate far beyond the horizon. Every voyage connects ports, businesses, industries, and people, making ships like this an essential part of modern life. And when you see the COSCO Shipping Universe sailing across the deep blue ocean, you are not simply looking at a huge ship. You are looking at one of the remarkable machines that keeps global trade moving.